You know, the holiday season is supposed to be all about those warm, fuzzy, feel-good classics. But Disney just dropped a new Christmas short that's leaving a lot of people feeling, well, more horrified than festive. We're going to break down exactly what's got everyone so worked up.
I know, it sounds dramatic, right? But that's literally the question people are asking after watching this new short. So how could a Disney Christmas special possibly be so controversial? Well, it all kicks off with a really strange idea.
And this is the kind of reaction it's been getting. Critics did not pull any punches. Some are saying it's genuinely terrifying for kids, which, yeah, is not exactly what you're hoping for with your hot cocoa.
Okay, so to really understand the controversy, we have to start with the story itself. It all begins with a little bit of childhood creativity that, let's just say, takes a very weird turn.
So get this, a little girl doodles this colorful, kind of abstract creature on her Christmas list for Santa. And Santa, in a move that feels a little more like something out of a sci-fi movie than the North Pole, actually brings this doodle to life. But there's a huge catch. He kind of forgot a key feature, a mouth.
But before we even get to the creepy stuff, viewers couldn't help but notice that the whole thing feels like one giant commercial. I mean, the girl's room is just jam-packed with Disney merch. You've got Stitch plushies, Star Wars toys, the whole shebang. It makes it feel less like a heartwarming story and more like a sales pitch.
And here is where the story really shifts from just a quirky ad into something a whole lot darker. See, the creature not having a mouth isn't just a funny little problem. It's the beginning of a year-long nightmare.
Think about that for a second. This creature exists for an entire year, 365 days, and it can't eat, it can't talk, it can't sing Christmas carols. But here's the part that really got to people. The one sound it can make is muffled screams from inside its own body. Yikes.
This quote totally nails the internal monologue that critics were imagining for this poor creature. It's just trapped, brought into the world only to suffer in total silence. This right here is the core of why so many people found this short so deeply unsettling.
This all builds up to one of the most talked about scenes. The creature grabs that Stitch toy we saw earlier, you know, the product placement, and desperately points to its mouth, trying to show everyone what it wants more than anything in the world. It's a cry for help that just happens to feature yet another Disney toy.
So after a full year of this silent agony, the next Christmas finally comes around. The girl and her creature make a new wish. The solution, though, is just as bizarre as the problem itself.
So how does Santa fix this horrifying mistake he made? You'd think he'd just magically give the creature a real mouth, right? Nope. He brings a plastic mouth from a Mr. Potato Head toy, another product you can buy, and they just stick it on. Critics pointed to this as the absolute peak of the short's crazy commercialism.
With its new plastic mouth firmly attached, the creature can finally speak. But its first words? They're actually pretty chilling. I have a mouth. I have so much to tell you. Commentators were quick to speculate that after a year of silent suffering, what it has to say probably isn't going to be very jolly.
Okay, so let's pull all these pieces together. Why did this short create such a powerful backlash? Well, critics basically saw it as a creepy, unsettling commercial trying to disguise itself as a holiday special.
A huge part of the critique was its use of what's known as body horror. This idea of a living being without a mouth, unable to speak but able to scream inside itself. That's a classic trope straight out of the horror genre, and people were absolutely floored to see it pop up in a Disney Christmas cartoon.
So the main criticisms were pretty clear. The short seemed to care more about selling toys than telling a story. It used these really disturbing themes of suffering and body horror. Many felt it was just totally inappropriate for kids, had zero actual Christmas spirit, and, well, one commentator just called it a freaking abomination.
And this right here really gets to the heart of the whole problem. Critics imagined parents all over having to answer these kinds of awful, confusing questions from their kids after watching. It's definitely a long way from something like Frosty the Snowman. All right, so for anyone who's now looking for something a bit more traditional and a whole lot less terrifying, commentators were quick to suggest some other much-loved options that you can find on Disney's own platform. Two big recommendations that kept popping up were Prep and Landing, the super fun specials about Santa's high-tech elf team, and The Santa Clauses, the new series that continues the story from the classic Tim Allen movies. Both are seen as actually capturing the fun and magic of Christmas.
And for anyone who wants something new that won't cause nightmares, there's some good news. A brand new Prep and Landing special is on the way, the first in over a decade. So that's probably a much safer bet for family movie night next year.
So in the end, what was this? A bold creative risk that just didn't land right? Or a cynical, creepy commercial that completely missed the point of the holidays? We've laid out the story and the criticism. Now you can decide for yourself.